In the winter of 1898, a Belgian laborer named Pietro De Rudder stepped onto the grounds of Lourdes, carrying pain that had ruled his body for years. His left leg was shattered, open, infected, and declared permanently crippled by doctors without hesitation. For 8 long years, bone ends had remained visibly separated. Flesh refused to close, and every step brought agony. Medical reports described exposed fractures and constant infection, a condition considered beyond repair by 19th century surgical standards of Europe. Pietro did not arrive seeking spectacle or attention. He came carried by faith borrowed from others, led quietly to the grotto where prayers had risen since St. Bernadette's visions, trusting not doctors, but mercy older than medicine. Witnesses later recalled that Pietro knelt with difficulty, his leg rigid and swollen, wrapped in cloth to hide what could not be healed. No drama followed his prayer, no cry, no collapse. Only a silence heavy with expectation. Then, without warning, Pietro felt warmth surge through the broken limb. Pain vanished, strength returned. Before anyone spoke, he stood, placed weight on the ruined leg, and began walking as bones reunited beneath living flesh. Observers froze in disbelief. The leg that moments earlier could not bear touch now moved freely. Open wounds closed. The visible gap between bones was gone. What surgery could not attempt had occurred in seconds before faithful eyes. Pietro did not shout or celebrate. He wept quietly, leaning on no one, taking steps long denied to him. Around him, pilgrims whispered prayers, realizing they were witnessing something that would demand careful judgment by the church. In Lourdes, miracles were never declared in the moment. Faith was followed by investigation. Yet that day, something unmistakable had entered history. A body obeyed a command not spoken aloud, restoring what years of suffering had stolen. Pietro De Rudder left the grotto walking, not carried, not assisted. The man who arrived, broken, departed whole, carrying no explanation except gratitude. His healed steps echoed louder than words across the stone paths of Lourdes. This was not a story born of legend or rumor. It began with medical impossibility, witnessed by many, and would soon be tested by the church itself. What happened to Pietro demanded more than belief. It demanded truth. Pietro De Rudder was not a mystic or preacher, but a simple laborer from Belgium whose life changed violently in 1867. A workplace accident shattered his leg, leaving bones exposed and infection constant, trapping him between pain, poverty, and despair. For years, doctors examined him repeatedly, applying splints, bandages, and experimental treatments common to 19th century medicine. Each verdict was the same: no healing possible, no surgery advised, only lifelong disability and managed suffering awaited him. By 1898, Pietro's condition was well documented. Independent physicians confirmed the visible separation of bone ends and chronic infection. Medical records described the injury as incurable, making any sudden restoration medically unthinkable by contemporary standards. After the event at Lourdes, Pietro submitted himself willingly to examination. Doctors measured, palpated, and compared records from before and after the pilgrimage. What they found contradicted every prior diagnosis and defied gradual explanation. The bones were fully united. The leg functioned normally. No scars indicated surgical intervention. Physicians who once dismissed hope now signed sworn testimonies acknowledging an instantaneous cure beyond known physiological processes. The church, cautious by nature, did not rush to proclamation. Ecclesiastical commissions reviewed medical files, eyewitness accounts, and timelines. Faith alone was insufficient. Truth required rigor, patience, and cross-examination, conducted over months of scrutiny. Unlike many claims, Pietro's case survived every test. Independent experts, including skeptics, agreed the healing occurred suddenly in 1898 at Lourdes, with no natural mechanism capable of explaining the transformation observed. Eventually, the Church declared the cure authentic. It was not credited to imagination or suggestion, but recognized as a miracle occurring through intercession associated with Lourdes, where Saint Bernadette's humble witness had first drawn the world. Pietro returned to ordinary life transformed, not only physically, but spiritually. He worked again, walked freely, and lived quietly, aware that his restored body now carried responsibility as much as gratitude. This miracle endured because it welcomed investigation. In an age skeptical of wonders, the Church's careful judgment preserved credibility. What healed Pietro De Rudder was not denied by reason, but confirmed through disciplined truth-seeking. Years passed, yet the footsteps of Pietro De Rudder never faded from Lourdes. Pilgrims spoke less about the broken bone and more about the quiet dignity of a man who walked away healed, carrying faith without spectacle or pride. What moves the heart is not only that bones reunited, but that suffering ended without bargaining. No vow was demanded, no promise extracted. Mercy arrived freely, reminding believers that grace is not earned, only received with humility. In an age that demands proof, this miracle endured scrutiny and emerged unchanged. Faith did not flee examination, it welcomed it. The healed leg became a testimony where belief and reason stood together without contradiction. The Church's approval did not diminish mystery, it protected it. By guarding truth carefully, the Church ensured that wonder would not be confused with illusion, and that genuine miracles would remain rare, weighty, and reverent. Pietro De Rudder never sought recognition. He became a living reminder that God often chooses the unnoticed, the wounded, the forgotten. His miracle spoke softly, yet its echo reached far beyond his lifetime. For those watching today, this story asks a gentle question. If such mercy could enter one broken body in 1898, could it still reach hearts burdened by doubt, grief, or long unanswered prayers now? Saint Bernadette once pointed the world toward Lourdes without claiming power. Likewise, this miracle does not glorify human effort, but directs attention upward, where healing begins before bones, in the depths of faith. Miracles do not erase suffering everywhere, but they remind us suffering is not final. Pietro's restored step whispers hope to those still waiting, teaching patience, trust, and perseverance. When healing feels impossibly distant, as this story closes, the invitation remains open, not to argue, but to reflect, not to explain everything, but to stand quietly before mystery and allow faith to breathe where certainty fails. If this miracle stirred something within you, let it be spoken. Leave an amen in the comments, not as habit, but as prayer, joining your voice to generations who believed healing still walks among us.